8th lesson, beginning of settled life. Beginning of settled life. In the last lecture, in the last lesson, we study about the from shelter to village settlement. From shelter to village settlement. How the villages are settled that time from the shelter. So now the beginning of settled life. How its beginning means त्यांची सुरुवात कशी झाली स्थिर जीवनाची बिगिनिंग ऑफ सेटल्ड लाईफ सेटल्ड मीन्स स्थिर सो बिगिनिंग ऑफ domestication of animals and agriculture, special skills and various occupations, community life based on mutual cooperation, structure of houses, village settlement, kinship and family. So beginning of domestication of animals and agriculture. What is the relation between the domestication of animals and the agriculture? So that we are going to study. Domestication of animals. Domestic animals means पाळीव प्राणी. That you know. Domesticated animals like the dog, goat, sheep, cattle, buffalo, etc. These are the domesticated animals. म्हणजे आपण काय करतो हे प्राणी घरी पाळतो. So domesticated animals like the dog, goat, sheep, cattle and buffalo etc. So are useful to man in many ways. There are three main steps in the domestication of a species of any animals. There are the three steps. If we are domesticated any animals, so there are three steps to take care of them and how it's domestication of a species of any animals. So which are the three steps? First one is capture of the wild animals. कॅप्चर ऑफ द वाईल्ड ॲनिमल्स. जंगली म्हणजे त्या प्राण्याला पकडून त्याला कंट्रोल करणे आपल्या ताब्यात करणे. कॅप्चर ऑफ द वाईल्ड ॲनिमल. सेकंड थिंग इज टेमिंग द कॅप्चर्ड ॲनिमल दॅट इज ट्रेनिंग देम टू लिव्ह विथ ह्युमन. वी हॅव टू टेम टू देम. त्यांना माणसासोबत राहण्याची सवय लावणे वळण लावणे. टेमिंग द कॅप्चर्ड ॲनिमल्स दॅट इज ट्रेनिंग देम टू लिव्ह विथ ह्युमन्स. त्यांना माणसांसोबत राहण्याची सवय लावणे वळण लावणे. ऑब्टेनिंग युजफुल मटेरियल्स लाईक मिल्क एक्सेट्रा फ्रॉम देम and training them to work for humans and beasts of burden. And third one is obtaining useful materials like milk etc. त्यांच्यापासून आपल्याला काय मिळतं? दूध दुभते इत्यादी पदार्थ सुद्धा आपल्याला त्यांच्यापासून मिळते आणि त्यांच्याकडून आपण कष्टाची कामही करून घेऊ शकतो. Obtaining useful materials like milk etc. from them and training them to work for humans as beasts of burden. So first one is to capture the wild animals. To capture the wild animals. जंगली प्राणी पकडून त्यांना कंट्रोल करणे. आणि सेकंड थिंग त्यांना माणसांसोबत राहण्याची सवय लावणे वळण लावणे. टू टेम्प्ट द कॅप्चर्ड ॲनिमल्स दॅट इज द ट्रेनिंग देम टू लिव्ह विथ ह्युमन्स. अँड थर्ड वन इज ऑब्टेनिंग युजफुल मटेरियल लाईक मिल्क. त्यांच्यापासून आपल्याला दूध दुभते तर मिळतेच आणि पुन्हा त्यांना शेतामध्ये कामही आपण त्यांच्याकडनं करून घेऊ शकतो. कष्टाची कामेही आपण त्यांच्याकडनं करून घेऊ शकतो फ्रॉम देम and training them to work for humans as bits of burden. Bits of burden. So when the third step is achieved, the animal is supposed to be completely domesticated. If you achieve third step, means you can decide you are completely, that animal is domesticated. And domesticating animals and keeping them for our own use in called animal husbandry. आणि आपण काय करतो, आपण जर ह्या तीनही स्टेप्स कंप्लीट केल्या तर आपण समजून जायचं की आपण तो प्राणी पशुपालन साठी एकदम परफेक्ट आहे. And this is called the domesticated animals. We have seen that the dog was domesticated in the Middle Stone Age. In the last lesson, from shelter to village settlement, in that lesson we study about in the Middle Stone Age, the dog was first animal. Dog was have been domesticated. First animal domesticated, that was the dog. So the dog is the first animal to have been domesticated. Dogs were used to help with hunting. The goat and sheep was domesticated next. आपण बघितलं मध्याश्म युगामध्ये त्यावेळेला so we know about that. In the last lesson we study about the domesticated animals, and first of all in the Middle Stone Age, that time the dogs were domesticated and dogs were used to help with hunting. The goat and sheep were domesticated then next. Now the agriculture. Archaeological evidence is available to show that agriculture first began about 11,000 years ago in Israel and Iraq, and women are created to have started cultivation. In the agriculture, archaeological evidence is available to show that agriculture first began in 11,000 years ago in Israel and Iraq. So women are created to have started cultivation, and they might have used pointed sticks to sow seed. For the agriculture, they was using pointed sticks to sow the seed in the farm. Women in some tribes still sow seeds by this method in order to help dig deeper into the soil. The stick was weighted using a perform stone. And in the previous lesson also we have learned that people had to stay in the one place because of the nature of agricultural work, and agriculture production increased considerable after the plug pulled by animals came into use. So agriculture became the main source of livelihood. Now, people began to worship nature and various deities for good crops and essential things like sharing of agriculture tasks and water resources and the security of the village settlement gain importance. And people in the village settlement established some rules and customs to manage these things. Thus, a social system based on agriculture came into existence. Okay, students, so read this lesson carefully, and remaining lesson we will continue tomorrow. Okay.